Guys, let's quickly talk about Bitcoin. I'll try and keep it short this time. So Bitcoin obviously broke out of our falling wedge pattern to the upside. We are now creating a somewhat higher high structure here going to the upside. And let's first of all go to the monthly. We know, of course, that Bitcoin is in a bear market, and it does so usually for 365 days, right? In a bear market, we go down for a year, and then in a bull market, we go up for about 3 years, 1,065 days or so. And based on this theory, the bottom should be somewhere in October, which is what everyone is basically talking about. That's also what I think will happen. Let's go on the weekly chart, and we can see that we're also having this falling wedge pattern, which we just discussed here on the 4-hourly, right? This falling wedge pattern, which we broke out from. If we go on the weekly chart, we can see in a bear market, we usually have this falling wedge pattern. We consolidate to the bottom, have one big capitulation event towards the end of the bear market, just like we had the last time, just like we had even the time before that, a big capitulation event, which I'm still expecting to be happening actually. And that will be brutal. I mean, that will be liquidating a lot of people. And then we break out to the upside in like this bullish way, just like we did right now. So I think based on this theory, simple theory, I can expect that we should potentially go back up, retest this level here at like $70,000, and then go down, enter a nice short position, have that big move down. And then once we break also this previous support at like $60,000 approximately, like this previous level here of support when we broke down, and this previous level of support, once you break down, a lot of people will get liquidated. And I don't think we'll go back above this level until at least we find that bottom of the bear market. Now, let's also keep in mind here, let's take this line into consideration. Last bull market, right? November 2021, high, we were right here at like $69,000 almost. I drew the orange line, and we'll keep that line here as we go down on our chart. So we can see this line is sitting here at like $69,000, and that is, I think, a realistic price where we can be retracing towards. So let's draw the Fibonacci extension lines and see what happens. So if I draw them actually all the way to the bottom, all the way from the top to the bottom, and it tells us that usually we retrace to these levels. It is also sitting very nicely at the previous range high at like $67.2 thousand, which is in my kind of sell zone. So I think this is a level that we could go to. Yes, we could also retrace a bit higher, potentially to like this $69,000, the November 2021 all-time high. But basically what I'm expecting to be happening going forward from here is that we go back up here into this range kind of, and then we go down, have the big flush out coming later, going down into October, and that could be a good sale and a short position that we could be taking. Now keep in mind, if I put the RSI for Bitcoin on here on the daily chart, let me pop this up, we can basically see that we have an RSI bullish divergence. So the RSI is kind of upward sloping, right? The RSI is going up, while the price is, of course, somewhat in a downtrend. I mean, you can see we're going down right here, and usually this suggests that we will go a bit higher, push a bit higher, and this was also reasoning why I was saying that we could be going higher. And of course, we broke out of our falling wedge pattern here, which we usually break out to the upside from, and I expect us to continue the move to the upside. Now, if I go for Bitcoin back on a weekly, let's zoom out a bit and actually see what is happening usually in July. In July, we can see, this is the last bull by bear market, 2018. July bullish, we have a bullish going up bullish, and then we have some resistance and go down, big flush out. Same thing last bear market. July, we went up, and then we had the big move to the downside, and you can see that right here. July usually very bullish for Bitcoin on the monthly returns, 7.74% average returns for Bitcoin in July. And then August and September, especially in bear markets, August, September, we usually have that correction to the downside and bottoming out somewhere end of September, beginning of October, right? Same thing the 4 years ago, the bear market before that, August, September, very negative, while July was positive. And even 4 years ago, August and September was negative. Yes, here October was negative too, but keep in mind that was quite a few years ago. Overall, I'm trying to just say that usually we have then the last 2 months of the bear market negative, big flush out to the downside, and then we find the bottom, and we want to be, of course, buying Bitcoin somewhere here in that range. Now, where do I think we could be potentially going when we break down? Well, I marked two levels right here. One is about $52,000, which is kind of the bottom of this range where I think we could be going. Or if we go even further down, we could be going to the low 40s even, because we have some support and resistance, some trading going on right here. and I think we could be going there as well. Keep in mind, the bottom, the last part of the bear market is usually quite aggressive, quite a lot of capitulation going on, and I wouldn't be surprised if we have a big flush out. So with any positions, any leverage positions, it's important to stay cautious here and not get liquidated. And if you look here at the Fibonacci between this whole cycle and last cycle, we can basically see that last cycle we found a bottom somewhere at the 0.786 level right here. We went even a bit below, and if we go to the 0.786 level, this would bring us approximately to this range that I just discussed, like the $40,000 region. Now, I'm not saying we necessarily will go there, but at least I think we will go lower from here, right? And we could at least fill the golden pocket, which we did last time as well. So we're just about to fill that now on that next breakdown to the downside, which I think will happen. If I go on Bitcoin here and zoom in a bit, let's stay on the daily, and let me remove the Fibonacci. We can also draw another line. So let me put this here on the top and draw it down here like this somewhat. We can basically see that we are now trading above this new support that we have created. This, of course, we have two touch points here. Let me draw this a bit lower. We can see we have like 3 touch points here right now on this line, and we are now above this line. So we are basically in an up move, and I think we can go to the $70,000 region before breaking further to the downside, and then we will break this low right here, of course, the previous range low. Once we break below that and kind of form some resistance here, I think we can continue the move to the downside. Now keep in mind, if we go on the liquidation heat map, we can see there's now big liquidation clusters on the 2 weekly just above us and also basically just below us. So I wouldn't be surprised if we go down or go up first and then grab it, but eventually these will be grabbed. Now, if I go on the 1 monthly liquidation heat map, this is also quite important. Look, we have a big cluster of liquidity lying all the way here, just below $50,000, and also here at like $51,000. So this makes me really believe that we will have that big flush up to the downside and grab that liquidity eventually. Of course, this is on a larger time frame. And that is it really for Bitcoin. If I go back here and just show you guys what we are trading along on the daily time frame, we are basically trading alongside this green dotted line, right? That's the line of this bear market. So resistance, resistance, and now we found support along this line. And I expect us, once we break down, to be trading alongside this line again. So right now, just to simplify it, I think we can go up. July is usually bullish for Bitcoin, and then the next 2 months will be quite bearish, quite a big move to the downside. And I think we can take some nice short positions if we short somewhere in this range from about here, the top of the range, $67,000, all the way to potentially like $70,000 is a good entry for a short position, and we'll follow the markets and take that trade together. Okay, see you tomorrow and bye.